Hello, and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. Today we're going to talk about REP, look a little bit deeper into it, and is it a good investment? Um, and what kind of trouble it might actually run into. And then we're going to talk about Coil finally launching cinnamon.video. And yes, I do actually have a cinnamon.video account. I will be uploading a lot of videos there, probably just as much as on YouTube. I actually do hope this actually becomes successful because YouTube does need some competition because otherwise they'll treat content creators like crap. And I do believe that competition is really good for YouTube. So I hope like either this or D Live or whatever that voice thing becomes very, very successful. And that would mean good things for the entire industry as a whole. And then we're going to talk a little bit about Cardano as well. I already did a video about Cardano, so I'm not really too keen on talking that much more about it. But let's go into REP. So REP, for those of you that don't know, is on Coinbase, and they're going to be listed on Binance.us. And that's important because REP is kind of like a skill gaming coin. It's kind of like FanDuel's or DraftKings. Now you might say, well, that's just gambling hidden behind a mask. Yes, I agree with you if you actually say that. Because from a realistic standpoint, there's no way it's not gambling. But from a legalistic standpoint, because you have a lot of legalistic bullcrap, it may not be gambling because guess what? FanDuel's and DraftKings got a new rule instituted in New York that said they weren't actually gambling. They're games of skill. And I think REP makes the same argument. And since that blueprint is already there for not being a gambling thing, REP is probably going to go free on the same grounds. Do I think that reasoning is bullcrappy? Yes, it is bullcrappy. But, who cares? Because if you're investing in it and it's legally determined not to be gambling, it has a lot more leeway and it can be really, really successful. Now, what REP is it lets you bet on the outcomes of anything, whether it's like there's a bet going on right now of whether Justin Trudeau is going to be the next prime minister or not, what team's going to win this week's football game, and how likely is it that X legislation is going to pass? They will let you bet on basically anything. If there's one thing I know to be true is that as long as you pass the regulations, a gambling platform that will let you bet on anything, that is a winner. That is like one of mankind's like oldest hobbies, to bet on anything that is possible and everything that is possible. If you can actually wager something on it, people will do it. So usually when there's a new platform, I always question whether or not they're going to get users. If it's a platform that lets people bet on any damn thing there is, I don't really question that. I know people will use it. Just take, for instance, the TRX network. What's the most popular thing on the TRX network? You guessed it, a lot of crappy gambling apps. And EOS shows a lot of the same story as well. Those gambling apps are extremely popular. They're the only ones that have super high spikes, and people love those things. And those gambling games honestly suck. So if you actually let people gamble with games of skill or whatever, like FanDuel's and DraftKings and FanDuel or whatever, I think it's going to be very popular. And since you can bet on anything, that attracts an even larger audience. Like the people who are deep in politics, they'll bet on who wins the presidency, who wins the prime ministership, X this, X that. You'll get a lot of people using that platform as long as it passes regulations. Now, of course, in the United States and other countries, the regulations are the hard thing. But if they can use like DraftKings and FanDuel's as a template, I bet they can actually pass in the US and in a lot of other countries as well. So Augur REP, I think actually has a future based on the precedent that DraftKings and FanDuel's has set in terms of regulations. So take a look at that coin. The problem with that coin is I don't actually know like how much they will actually increase the circulating supply, and that could be problematic. I think it's only a couple million right now, but if they increase it by a lot, then each coin isn't going to be worth that much. But take a look at REP. It's an interesting coin, and the market cap isn't really that high right now, so there is a lot of room to expand. The second thing I really want to talk about is Coil launching the XRP powered Cinnamon. Now, cinnamon.video is actually a platform, and the link to my Cinnamon channel will actually be in the description of this particular video. This is another this is another thing that I'm trying to build along with D Live and Twitch. Hell, why not? Cinnamon is, I think it's going to be like more crypto videos, but I'm going to upload crypto videos, food videos, and everything onto Cinnamon and see how much traction I can actually get. I'm going to see like how many followers I can get. I don't really know how this stuff works. It looks pretty interesting. The platform is really, really simple. I'm not going to stream on Cinnamon until they get it on Restream, and I have to like subscribe to Coil or something. So we'll see how that all works after a while. So that'll be pretty cool on Cinnamon. That's actually pretty cool on Cinnamon. I will probably use it as a platform to stream once I actually like start subscribing. But right now, I'm just going to keep streaming on the platforms that I can actually stream in. So pretty cool thing, and I think this could really help start the Internet of Value and help grow the ecosystem, because this whole like XRP tip bot, XRP coil ecosystem really does need to grow for any chance at success. Hopefully, this can challenge YouTube. I probably wouldn't bet on it, but there's always a chance in there somewhere that it could actually compete with YouTube in the future. Cardano expands into Two Start, and that's actually into Japan. So they partnered with an office sharing company called Japan, and office sharing is getting more and more popular around the world. People don't want to pay for their own offices, so they just rent a spot in some kind of office sharing place. It's getting really popular in other places, especially Japan, and now they're accepting Cardano. So despite the fact that Shelley is launching 3 years late from the original prediction, they have been doing a decent job in terms of getting other adoption for merchants. So that is the news on Cardano. That's all the news for today. Let me know what you think. Thank you and have a nice day.